Meat is back on the menu, Monster Hunters. Grab a well-done steak, preferably Wagyu, stick it in the microwave, put some ketchup on it, and sit down. I was going to do a whole video going step by step about my first year of content creation. I was also going to do a Christmas/New Year's video to round out my first year of content, but none of that ended up happening. Really and truly, I just really want to give out thanks, update all of you who care about what I've been up to, and share my feelings on content creation as a whole. Making content is daunting and hard. I'm not incredibly special when it comes to tech, skill, presentation, whatever else. And if you're making things for other people to view, there are a lot of complicated feelings when you're a nobody that has to work from the ground up, where it seems like a lot of people are apathetic towards you, and worse off, a lot of odd people trying to crush you down despite the fact that you are a nobody. But it's not all bad interactions. Through content creation, I've been able to meet and chat with a lot of cool people, ranging from everyday YouTube commenters to other content creators on YouTube. A lot of you gave me a chance when I was a nobody, and a lot of you cheered me on when I was a nobody. I really mean this. Thank you to all of you who subscribe, watch my videos, say nice things, interact with me. I really am grateful, and you mean more than you might even think to me. You see, these past couple of years have not been very easy. And last year was especially a meat grinder, no pun intended. As most of you know, I have a full-time job and a sick wife. Last year, my wife was diagnosed with a form of cancer and had her surgery a little after my breakout 4-hour video. She beat it, but not without latent genetic issues rearing their head around due to the physical and mental toll on her body. I hate my job, but I need the health insurance that comes with it, along with the good enough pay to handle medical bills. As you've seen with my absence the last couple of months, and the time it has been taking me to make videos, something's been up. I've been grappling with a lot of symptoms of depression in waves. I learned as a kid to cope with things by joking around and trying to make myself and others laugh. And I've been trying to stay productive, but the reality is I've been suffering for quite some time now with feelings of loneliness, isolation, helplessness, bitterness, and even hopelessness. I even turned off YouTube memberships back in the very beginning of January just to alleviate some of the pressure of posting videos while I've been feeling a lot of these feelings. Yes, this is extremely personal, and yes, most of you might not even care, but I want to let you know that I'm working past this and doing the best that I can. And if you are in a position where you can relate to me, you too can keep chipping away at life. It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. It doesn't have to be only bad days. You can get through this, and I'll do my best to keep this mindset too. Seek therapy if you need it. There's no shame in help. Love your people, and most of all, let people love you too. We're all gonna make it. On a lighter note, I want to go down the line and shout out to some people I've met across the year. You guys, I've been very, very, very lucky with my content creation career, and I've met so many cool people. I want to start off with Monster Hunter, who is the first YouTuber who acknowledged my presence and even gave me a shout out when I was just a little guy. He has great videos, great editing, and he made my favorite video of last year as far as Monster Hunter content goes. No bias though, even though I'm in it. I want to thank my friend, my name is Zun, who was an up-and-comer like me. Through Mon, I met Zun, and he had me on for a podcast episode fresh after the infamous long-ass video. Awesome dude. Maple, and many of the excellent people involved in Team Lightside. Special shoutouts to Shincry and B-Bake for hopping on for an interview along with Maple. You all do great work, and I appreciate you letting me play a little role in the most recent Hunter Awards. Arc Knight, a class act in every sense. I met him by hopping in his chats periodically and saying hi or saying unhinged things as I do. But homie is such a nice dude that loves sharing the love. He would shout out my channel when I hopped in. He also stole the W from my clear victory at It's Nergante's Monster Hunter Jeopardy video. If you know, you know. Speaking of It's Nergante, thank you for having me on for the game show, homie. I hope you've been well. Mr. MH, another class act that I met when he hopped into the Steakhouse Discord server. Link in the description, by the way, if you want to join. A man who loves Monster Hunter and is always down to talk about it in any way that he can. This man is genuinely one of the most upright people I've met through YouTube, and probably has earned my respect man to man faster than most people that I can even look in the eye. Ludi, I love you, man. You welcomed me with open arms into the world of old Monster Hunter, and you have such a unique but unwavering appreciation for video games. Thank you for introducing me to the old school homies, and thank you for all that you do in this community. Speaking of old school homies, I can't bring up everyone, but shout out to the entire MH Old School Discord and the people that are working to keep the roots of Monster Hunter alive and well. Special shoutouts to Alpha Divine, aka MH United, who is an absolute Gen 2 Monster Hunter legend and teacher. He also recently broke the record for the fastest solo Dose White Fatalis kill on video that we are aware of. Thanks for playing so much Monster Hunter with my boys and me, Alpha. Another shout out to Adam, another key player in the MH Old School cinematic universe. From being a human encyclopedia for all things Monster Hunter, to absolutely beating my ass for the love of the game in Monster Hunter Dose PvP, I will always adore being around this guy. His favorite game is Devil's Third on the Wii U, by the way. Shout out to Wreck-It Rye. Homie's just a super nice dude that makes fun content. Left encouraging and good comments on my vids. Rye, if you watch this, homie, I gotta have you on my show at some point, dude. You left an impression on me, man. Shout out to Nova Bushido, who despite his movements away from Monster Hunter was a man who also welcomed me with open arms onto his channel. And we had some good discussion and some good jokes. Nova, if you see this, best of luck to your future stuff, homie. Shout out to Heavy Wings. Thanks for the advice way back after the 4-hour video, and thanks for hopping in voice chats and text chats, mixing it up with the steakhouse and me. Super nice guy, down to earth. Homie even helped me encourage one of my other homies, Dweeby, one time about script writing, and he also streamed Cars on PS2 for the dogs for like a whole hour one day. You never know what this guy's gonna be up to. Speaking of Dweeb, I am glad you did a near 8-hour reaction video from my long ass video. I will never let you live down calling me a Redditor, but hey, I'm glad that we got to become friends through it. I hope for nothing but success in your future endeavors, and that you can continue bringing smiles to the people you surround yourself with. You certainly bring smiles to me, homie. Shout out to the MH data miners. You all work hard deconfirming misinformation and shedding light on some of the things going on under the hood with the games. I know it can be a thankless gig, and sometimes you all catch flack because of bad actors in this community, but just know that you are appreciated. If not by anyone, you're at least appreciated by me. Special shout out to STR Cooler Simp, hopping on for a very elucidating interview. These two are so passionate about the series in different ways, it's infectious. STR has such a fun and playful way of interacting with the community, and he's even going back to experience classic titles like Monster Hunter Dose. I also have a few other figures to thank in the Nade. Our introduction to each other started rough, but we worked it out. Thanks for all you do, homie. The work you do for the community and the sick-ass Pokemon Emerald Monster Hunter version you brought to the community is definitely deserving of praise. Laxative. He's been dropping some knowledge bombs for the Steakhouse dogs and chilling with us in text chats here and there. It's been fun having you around, man. I'm glad you hopped in. Another special shout out to Amber Sun Hazel Trees and #1 Legiacris fan. You guys encouraged me so much during some of the more volatile moments in my content creation career. You were nice, sweet, and heaped praise upon me when I didn't even feel the most deserving of it. It meant more to me than I ever let you know, so I guess I'm saying it now. CR Volcanic. Baby, sugar, daddy, I fucking love you, man. Platonically, of course. This guy makes amazing videos, and he's an all-around sick guy. One of the funniest men on the platform for sure, and a down-to-earth guy. Thanks for hopping on to talk about your Goliath of a video, my man. Shout out to the other Rangers as well, you know who you are. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up, we got Swashbucklet, Swashbucky, Swashy Washy. Thanks for chilling with us in the steakhouse periodically. It's been a joy to watch your channel grow and to see the evolution of your Monster Hunter skills. You always bring a calm but fun time wherever you go, but you can still get loud with the dogs. You truly are a joy to be around, and I'm sure your viewers feel the same. Keep flying, homie. Thanks to everyone who has liked and shared my videos and such. Big shout outs to JT and Misfits on Twitter who were instrumental in the 4-hour video catching fire on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, shout out to Blossoming Burst for playing off my shenanigans and never failing to get a chuckle out of me. Stay shining, homie. Much love to the good people in the Steakhouse Discord for being fun, playing, having a good time, and so on. I can't shout everyone out naturally, but I'll throw some shout outs to some of the people that have assisted me in some of the gameplay footage. Hitman is a legend. Dr. Berger, Weltwin, you guys too. Thanks for the fun hunting for you. Stormrider, an absolute goat of an artist and another good man that I love. The legendary One Day Freedom Unite high rank hub run was fun as hell. But for real, check this man's art out. Shout out to Oranges for helping with some headhunting in the server, especially with the legendary Swashbucky Fast Savage Omega kills. We also have Luca, Valen, and Spook who were there for some of the dose gameplay at the beginning on the secondary channel. A lot of the dogs make appearances in the voice chat, but I have to say the comedy and shenanigans MVP has to go to you, Celestine. Thank you for all the fun times. And to all the other dogs, I fucking love you guys. Thank you so much for keeping me encouraged. I can't always hang out with everybody. I can't always do or say the right things. But I know that I did the right thing setting this server up with the hopes of meeting cool people and hopefully impacting their lives as positively as they are impacting mine. I really appreciate you guys. Junebug, my boy. This absolute gem of a guy went through all of the last 70% of dose and all of Freedom Unite with me. Hilarious, kind, and caring. Love you, buddy. I'm glad we met. Much love to my day one supporters and encouragers. Before I was the Meat Man, I was just Meat Man. I was just another, just another guy. But my wonderful, beautiful, amazing wife, my buddies, Meat Manager, Halo Nerd, Actipes, also known as Octopus, Solstice, Debo, Kunari, Pino, Chef Jody, Rio, the racing legend, Cryo, my GU junkie, and of course the GOAT himself, Birdie. One of my best buds for over half the decade. Thank you guys. Your support and love for me starting off on the channel it's what I really needed, on the tough times where, people were apathetic towards me or some people even like almost cruel. You guys really held me up there. I appreciate it. And to the people who helped support me monetarily, you guys helped me more than you can know. I did not want to keep the memberships open while I was in the state. It wouldn't have felt right, but you guys were so awesome that even when I announced my break and stuff and like turning memberships off, a lot of you insisted that I keep taking your money. I really appreciate it. And your generosity's really touched my heart. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Looking back, I had no idea that I would rub shoulders with so many different sides of the community. I had no idea that I would meet so many cool people. And like even just thinking about it, it makes my heart super full, man. I'm thankful I got this opportunity. Thank you guys so much. Monster Hunter is where I met most of my friends. Monster Hunter was and is the start of my YouTube channel. It's through Monster Hunter that I got to meet and interact with a lot of you. And you've all enriched my life greatly. I hope that I've returned the favor by even a fraction. But enough about me. This next section, I wanted to give the mic over to some people in the community, as well as some of the people that provided my channel with great support. If you want to hear some other voices and some cool people, please stick around for a while longer. But I really do appreciate you listening this far. I hope you enjoy seeing some of the voices of the community. I've got Tenshi here. This is one of my besties. Tenshi has a message for the Monster Hunter community. Go ahead, Tenshi.
Hello, everyone. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank my bestie here, the overall biggest sausage around, here for allowing me to be here, and thanks to overall the Monster Hunter community. I'm a relatively new player. I started with Rise, and then I went back and played through pretty much every generation because I fell in love with the game, and it has helped me get through some things, and I just really love this game and everyone around it. So I just wanted to say, thanks for being around, and stay meaty, my friends. Happy hunting.
Stay meaty, my friends. Biggest sausage around. I can't believe this. Thank you, Tenshi. And we have another one here. We've got Skullie. Skullie, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. I got a questions for you. What got you into Monster Hunter?
So that all started with a demo disc for the PlayStation 2 for Monster Hunter 1.
Golly.
I must have been, I was a child. I can't even remember what age I was, but I was a child that had no idea what I was doing. I loaded up the game, explored the village, did the first quest, which was to kill Aptonoth and cook their meat. I did that and then never continued on. The demo, I think, ends with Velocidrome, and I never got to fight him. Cut to Monster Hunter Tri-Ultimate's release on the Wii U. I had just bought the Wii U, and I needed games on it. I'm looking at the Azure Rathalos with the Azure Rathalos Hunter in all of his glory, and I went, that. Picked it up, and yeah, that began the descent into madness that is Monster Hunter for me.
Okay. It's funny that you say like the cover art caught you for 3U, because that's like a point of contention in the Monster Hunter community, because it replaced Brachydios with Azure Rathalos. But I can see where, like, with that gap you had, like, it's like, oh man, that's badass.
To this day, I still don't know why they did that cover art change, but yeah, it was the cover art, and I think it was also that I had known what Monster Hunter was, but from, like, the memory I had playing it wasn't that fresh in my mind to know exactly what I was getting into. Because once I got into the game, you want to know what my wall was?
What?
Baroth.
Baroth?
Baroth was my... Yeah, for me, Baroth was my biggest wall for 3U. And it wasn't until, like, once I had beaten him, that's when it clicked. That's when the whole combat system clicked, and that's when I really fell in love with the series.
Yeah. People think, people hear Baroth and they oftentimes think about the jobber Baroth from World, but people forget that he was a heater in old gen.
In old gen, his weak spot was his... Well, I mean, it's still the same in new gen, but before, in old gen, you would really be focusing on his paws, his paws. That's what I did in order to beat him. I had looked online I looked on the wiki, the fandom wiki, to try and find out, like, all right, where's his weak spot? What's he weak to? And that actually kind of leads into the whole community aspect as well.
Oh, so, well, before we go into there, speaking of that, what is one of the best experiences you've had with the Monster Hunter community? If you don't mind elaborating with that too. I
have two. Okay. Two in particular. The first was when I had just gone to high rank in Monster Hunter 3U. Or actually, no, sorry. It was 4U. I had just gone into high rank for 4U. And before this, I had never really done any multiplayer stuff for Monster Hunter. I had just done solo, even the hub stuff. I then decided, you know what, I'm gonna pull some guys up to do some Gormagala quests on, because the Nick Gems drop rate was pitifully low, and I really needed it. I went on to the wiki once again, and before they did the whole Discord integration, the wikias back in the day used to have their own, like, IRC chats that you would join in. I joined in and saw around 5 people in there. 4 of them decided to come and help me with the Gormagala quest. And even though that was just an ordinary, you go in, you find some people and you join up with them, to me, that memory has stuck with me ever since, because I ended up playing with them for a whole day. It, like, non-stop. We had gone the Nick Gems, we had gone a bunch of other gear, and I remember that so vividly. The second is actually pretty recent, and it's with Monster Hunter Wilds. Again, this is gonna go back to Tri or 3 Ultimate. It was what was the event in the hub where they brought out the 3U theme for the Diva? Was that the Halloween one?
Sheesh, I don't remember.
It was where the Diva began to sing the credit theme for Tri Ultimate.
It was the one after the Dose theme. That's what I know.
Actually, yeah, it would have been October, because the summer event was the first one, and that one had the Dose theme. Yeah. I just remembered seeing all those players in the hub. It was a full hub. All of them gathered around just to watch the Diva sing, and for the buff, obviously. But seeing that really kind of brought back the whole community aspect that I love about Monster Hunter. Because at the end of the day, we're all joined together trying to do the same thing, which is beat the shit out of monsters and get our gear. And just to see everyone join up in that hub, just to watch that just to watch the performance, which was beautiful, just really, it's gonna stick with me for a long while, even after Monster Hunter Wilds is done.
That's definitely like a fun memory. Like both the first real experience you had playing with other people and stuff, and like the unorthodox way that you found them. That's interesting. And then just little reminders of things that can draw the community in, even if it's just a bunch of people clustered up watching the diva. I've been playing DOS recently, and the diva you can bring out like every night in the hub, and so you have to actually summon her with like, not summon her, but you have to bring her out with like different tickets you can earn in different quests. There is one that's like infinite, but it was really fun playing through DOS and experiencing like different diva songs as we found them, and we would just get drunk. Sadly, Wilds, you can't get drunk. We'd get drunk and we'd walk in front of the diva stage, and people like sitting down still would have like the cinematic cam, and you would walk into their view drunk with it. There's always like some funny stuff you can do with stuff like that too. Monster Hunters like hubs have always been like really cool about having places you could get together and do some crazy shit or just congregate. So it's fun that Wilds really captured that with the Grand Hub. That's been nice.
The one thing I would say that has kind of gone a bit down from the Grand Hub, I'd say, is all of the players. There's something missing from how personal it is when there's just 4 people in a hub. While I get what they're trying to do, they're trying to finally achieve what they wanted with Loklak City, where it's like an actual big zone where you see tons of hunters and players in. I kind of miss the old, personalness of the 4-player hubs. I hope we kind of get something like that in the next game, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I've found that playing through DOS, the 10-person hub in Dundorma is a really fun amount of people.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe they might experiment around with different things, and maybe they might find different ways that even with a high player count that they could still achieve that like small kind of feeling. And like if they make multiple rooms or something. So we'll just have to see. Skullie, one more question. Has Monster Hunter made an impact on gaming or your life in any way?
It's ruined my life is what it's done. No, it's there are three games in my life or 3 series in my life that have like really changed my life or changed how I game. One is Monster Hunter, one is a bunch of Project Moon games, and the other is Warframe. Monster Hunter taught me to adapt, I'd say. It taught me to adapt to any kind of situation in a game. And even just in life, but more so with games. Take, for example, like I said for Monster Hunter 3U with Baroth. I was stuck with him for ages. I couldn't get past him, and I didn't know what to do. My typical strategy of using the long sword and just fade slashing through everything was not working. Sorry, spirit slashing through everything was not working. To adapt to it, I then swapped to a whole different weapon. I learned Switch Axe to try and get rid of him. I adapted to the moveset, I adapted to the monster, especially his moves. That's when everything clicked for me. This even carried on to games like Dark Souls, for example. It really just taught me to engage with the game's systems and see what you can do with it at the most of it. Exploit it to your peak potential, I'd say.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a valuable lesson to learn. Some people they try to one-trick weapons and stuff, and they get frustrated when they hit like a bad matchup. And
you see the beauty behind that, though, in my opinion, at least from Monster Hunter, is even a one-trick can learn to adapt in many different ways by just exploring how that weapon works and what the downsides are and how you can make up for them.
Yeah. Even some of like most impossible challenges. Someone people thought it couldn't be done, but DOS White Fatalis got soloed by Hunting Horn like not too long ago. And Hunting Horn is notorious in DOS for falling off after low rank. So it's funny you mentioned that, because given if you want to really make a weapon work, you can. It just requires a lot more work and adaptation.
It requires a ton more investment, which is up to the player and how much they want to do.
Yeah. But counter picking
Yeah.
and stuff like you did, like that's also like completely viable and often encouraged.
It's not only encouraged, it's been the staple, or rather the basis of Monster Hunter since the beginning. Because unlike other RPGs, you don't level up stats. You adapt with your moveset, your skill, and the gear you have. The gear is often secondary compared to the skill of the player and the hunter. That's how I tend to view it.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Skullie, do you have any closing statements? Do you want to say stay meaty, my friends? What you got for me?
Have fun, be nice to each other, and for the love of God, put on flinch free if you're playing old gen. I will destroy you if you're using longsword and you're not using flinch, and you're duh. I've been traumatized, man. I've been traumatized.
But there's no shock proof in old gen, Skullie. You're screwed in old gen. You're screwed.
It's been so fucking long.
Hey, that being said, if you're playing old gen, have some courtesy, please. Please.
I beg of you.
All right, Skullie, I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right, and I've got my next guy here, Funelas. What's up, homie? How you doing today?
Good, and you?
Doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I got some questions
good,
for
that's
you. Yeah.
Okay.
First off, what got you into Monster Hunter?
Well, what got me into Monster Hunter was really just Wilds. I tried World, bounced off it. I tried Rise. It was pretty fun, but it didn't keep me hooked. But Wilds, which I think is because of all the good fights in low rank, really, that drew me into the game. But it's the only one that's held my attention for 300 hours now.
Okay, so you've put in a significant amount of time. Like,
Yeah.
So you mentioned the roster and everything.
Yeah, they give you the 4 Apexes in low rank. They give you Arkveld, Zoshia in low rank.
It's actually interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting fights.
Okay. So you
They don't
like
give you the full moveset. Yeah, they don't give you the full moveset, but they give you a taste of what it's to come, you know?
Okay, so it was like roster of Wilds along with the pacing, like low rank being
Yeah, the
more
pacing.
like in
I
your
mean,
face than the other
Yeah,
ones.
the story, you know, doesn't really matter, but the fights were pretty interesting from Ajarakan on.
Yeah, there was that latter half of
Yeah,
low rank was packed, definitely. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's
And
cool.
then-
That's not typically like the common answer you'll hear. So that's interesting perspective.
yeah, no. Then high rank is just fashion hunting and just collecting all the trophies, achievements. Yeah, just regular grind. But it's, you know, all the fights are pretty interesting and it's keeping me entertained for 300 hours now.
Cool. Well, you know, hopefully you'll keep enjoying it, and maybe now that you've gotten like in deep with like one Monster Hunter, you've seen like what there is to offer. Maybe that's going to be like what inspires you to go back and try out some of the gaps that you haven't filled in yet.
Yeah, I'm more interested in actually the old school,
Oh,
like Freedom Unite, instead of like World and Rise. It's very different gameplays, but it's interesting to me because I haven't tried them yet.
yeah.
And it's from the era that I missed out on gaming because I was doing other things. I was mostly doing MOBA gaming.
Okay. And like with Monster Hunter, like try and any game before try, it's going to the low rank is actually part of the like real challenge experience, as opposed to like it being localized mostly into indie game.
Yeah.
So I think you'll really like that aspect too of those older
Yeah,
games.
I'm liking Freedom Unite right now. I'm playing on my phone while I'm at work when I have downtime to do it.
Hell yeah, badass, man, badass.
Yeah.
All right, what is one of the best experiences you've had with the Monster Hunter community?
I haven't really been involved with the community as much. I've just been mostly watching videos, Rurikon, Oceanis. I like the lore vids. I don't really go on Reddit. And
Good,
most of my
good.
Monster Hunter community experience is just in the server, the steakhouse.
Okay. And also, I'll see you in different streamer chats sometimes too. You know.
Yeah.
So it is
Yeah,
fun to
just,
like cheer someone on, you know, while they're fighting a hard monster and stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of the streamers I watch aren't really exclusively Monster Hunter.
True.
I think only one Japanese streamer I watch is like she does exclusively Monster Hunter.
Gotcha. Okay. Has Monster Hunter made an impact on gaming for you or your life?
Yeah, it's making me game more at the moment because other than Souls, really, nothing's really been catching my attention recently, especially in AAA, indie. Only a select few games like Expedition 33, Hades 2, Helldivers, and Space Marines 2.
Good taste, man. Good taste. Yeah. Monster Hunter just kind of
Yeah, but,
has that thing where it reels you in and you just have a checklist of things you can do. It's kind of
there's a
freeform.
lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, especially if you're trying to optimize your build, which I'm not really trying to do at the moment. I'm just trying to collect all the armor pieces just for fashion hunters, you know?
Yeah.
It's taking forever too.
Well, sick, man. Sick. I appreciate you answering the questions, Funelas. You
Yeah,
got any
no problem.
closing statements you want to make, or you want to say stay meaty, my friends? Feel free.
All right, well, stay meaty, my friends.
Stay meaty, my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. All right. Next up, we've got my boy Druncle. Druncle, how you doing today?
Not bad. It's been a day. I got the day off, so I got a free day.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna ask you some questions, man.
All right, let's hit it.
All right. First question: what got you into Monster Hunter?
So what got me into Monster Hunter was actually not the main series. It was the first stories game because I had just gotten off of a big Pokemon craze, like kind of a Pokemon resurgence in my life, and I was looking for another kind of like RPG creature collector, and Monster Hunter Stories had just released, and it was relatively cheap for the time. I mean, what, 2016? It was, I think, $20-$30. But I picked that up and I played that, and I loved it because compared to Pokemon, where it's kind of just your character is kind of sitting behind while the Pokemon does everything, your character actively contributed to the fights you were participating in. So if you went into a fight against, a Diablos, you were right there, right next to your Zinogre or whatever monster you had out at the time. And so it felt like you were actively doing something. And that kind of hooked me, and that actually released before World. And it wasn't really I didn't start consuming Monster Hunter content until probably World released, when videos for that started coming out. But I was still pretty much only playing stories. Never played it because I didn't have a PC that could handle it at the time, but was watching it, and I was enthralled by the fact that compared to the stories games, the models were so much larger. But I kind of just attributed that to a game that was not restricted to the 3DS power of systems. So you had a much bigger like system budget to play with.
Yeah. It's so funny, because the typical experience is you go from the main line, and that's what coaxes you into trying the stories games, not the other way around. Like, you're the first person I've ever met with that story.
Yeah.
So it's pretty uncommon.
It comes from the fact that my childhood was largely Pokemon was the game I spent the longest time. Like, I would spend day in, day out playing Pokemon. So I was already attracted to the creature collection RPGs, JRPGs. Never got into Persona or Shin Megami Tensei, strangely enough, but that might have just been the purview of my field of vision. Pokemon tends to take up a lot of that back when they were kind of they were kind of really the only mainstream creature collection JRPG, RPG style game for a while.
Yeah, for a good while. Druncle, what is one of the best experiences you've had with the Monster Hunter community?
I think you were there for this, and I keep referencing it because it made me laugh for maybe 2 or 3 days afterwards. It was TU2 had just dropped, and so everyone was on either the Legiacris Sapphire grind or the Seregios Dissenter grind for Wilds. And I had posted a duo quest of a tempered Seregios and a tempered Gravios in Wyveria. Guaranteed Dissenter, so that was the reason why we were doing it. But we were fighting the Seregios, because obviously more difficult monster, Gravios is a pushover and a water hit sponge. But we were busy fighting the Seregios when the target Gravios came up and started absolutely beating down the Seregios. So we all stopped, sheathed our weapons, stood off to the side while we cheered on the Gravios by calling him Gramps. It was just like a solid just gas up session for this Gravios. And then when the Seregios started to leave, the Gravios followed it. So we just kept gassing up this Gravios as it wailed on the Seregios for no reason, because they don't have a turf war.
It's so
the Gravios just rolled up and started fighting it.
It's so funny considering this when Seregios came out, he was like considered the bully of the game.
He was considered the bully, and only to get beaten by the rock that is Grandpa.
That's pretty good. Oh man,
that lives rent free in my head, and every time I see a Gravios in Wyveria, I'm like, oh, is there a Seregios there too?
The natural predator for Seregios is a Gravios and Wyveria.
Seregios has no natural predators. I beg to differ. Consider the following: rock.
Big rock. Rock beats scissors, I guess. Druncle, has Monster Hunter made an impact on gaming or your life?
Yeah, I'd say it has. Mostly because, first and foremost, it got me... it's one of the first times that a game has been able to enthrall me enough in its gameplay loop, or gameplay in general, to pull me away from games that I was already playing, that I had already dedicated hundreds of thousands of hours to. But more importantly, it got me back into unironically got me back into the swing of writing for myself again, which was something that I hadn't done for 6 or 7 years up until that point. Like, it's largely just been fun for that, but also just like the community has gotten me, because I'm very much an introvert, but the community has allowed me to kind of be able to be comfortable stepping out of my shell for that, and kind of not have the proverbial, like, I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone only to get, bullied and harassed once I do so I'm gonna go back and never come out of my comfort zone again.
Yeah.
Type deal. I think it has. I only largely got into, like, interacting with the community more with Wilds, mostly because I kind of I picked it up 2 weeks after release, but largely speaking, I picked it up when it first came out before TU1, which is kind of when I like to pick up games or game series, so that I'm not necessarily starting at, like, in the middle of a game's lifespan, or at the end of a game's lifespan in the case of World or Rise, but I'm picking it up with the flow of a new game, which I think is one of the reasons why I think Wilds appeals to me, is because I didn't necessarily, I myself as a player of Monster Hunter, at least the mainline series, grew with it as it kind of went through its growing pain through its title update cycle. But I also kind of picked it up when everyone was kind of trying to figure out what the new systems were, how weapons changed. So as they were learning, like, how Charge Blade changed, I was learning Charge Blade for the first time. Still don't know what I'm doing, but we get by.
Getting there.
We're getting there. It's like, do you know how to play Charge Blade? I get by.
I dabble.
I dabble. But yeah, no. I think it's largely done wonders for my mental state as well. Just to have people to like kind of consistently talk to about a topic that I share this interest in, and to talk to people and instead of getting kind of that, oh, that's nice, but to get people who are equally kind of as passionate for it.
Yeah, that's a cool aspect for sure. I mean, hearing that it's inspired you to like get back into writing and all that stuff, and like finding, of course there's bad parts of the community, but finding a good part of the community that you can match passion with people, step out of your shell a little bit. Like that's definitely cool to hear, man. That's definitely cool.
And it's like, and no community is perfect.
Yeah.
If a community puts on this perfect facade, I'm definitely suspicious about how that foundation has been established.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why the saying is you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Yep.
And I kind of like the fact that the Monster Hunter community kind of doesn't pretend like it's this saint among, like they're a community of saints.
Some circles like to pretend to. some circles in the Monster Hunter community.
There are obviously some circles that try to put on that high and mighty aesthetic.
Yeah.
But if you've been around, at least been around the internet for a minute, you'll kind of see that it's like, okay, cool. You put on this facade of being, high and mighty and better than everyone else, but you're on the same level as the rest of us, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even the Reddit communities of Monster Hunter, and Reddit as notorious as the hive of scum and villainy that it is among the internet, like even the Reddit communities are relatively helpful. I'm not technically in the Wilds Reddit subreddit, but it comes across my feed because I have the Fashion Hunters one for just inspiration. And so I occasionally get the Wilds post, but seeing people and filtering through the comments when Omega dropped and when GOG dropped, seeing people be actively giving advice, instead of just being the herder get good that you can see in other communities, is a nice refresher, especially among a place where it is so easy to basically just tell someone to get good scrub.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see people critiquing builds and being oh, you're playing Lance, well, you don't really need Element on Lance, or you don't really need X, Y, and Z, you should go for 1, 2, and 3 instead. It's nice to see people actually being helpful when someone asks for, advice or for help. And to see the community not just, especially with the fact that Wilds did bring a lot of new people to the franchise, myself included, or at least to the mainline series, and to see those people not just getting a door slammed in their face is refreshing, because I've seen a lot of communities that have just, had all of these new people go to these places, and they've been told that these places will help them, and then get the door slammed in their face.
Yeah. Well, Druncle, I'm glad to have you on, man. I appreciate you answering these questions. Would you like to wrap up with anything, or say stay meaty, my friends? Whatever you want to do.
I guess I'll finish this off with kind of just, as someone who is new to the mainline series, but has been kind of interacting with Monster Hunter for the better part of almost 10 years now. Dear God, I don't like how that just put that into perspective. I don't like that.
Oh.
But I will say, and I think the greater part of the community realize it, everyone once started out as the fresh face in the community, picking up a weapon for their first time and flailing around like they didn't really know what they were doing. We all started there. Some started there with just the weapon. Others started with a Velociprey at their side, or a Velocidrome at their side. Regardless of where they started, everyone starts at 0. But whether or not they stay at that 0 is largely up to you as a community to boost them up, because we all love the games and the series that they've inspired and the things that we can create out of them in terms of cosplays, communities. But it ultimately comes out to us to make Monster Hunter what Monster Hunter is. Capcom can make the games, but what we choose to do with them is beyond Capcom's control.
Very true. Very true. Once again, I appreciate you, Druncle.
No problem, man.
Right here we have my boy Sev. Sev, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Good. All right, I'm gonna ask you some quick questions, man. First off, what got you into Monster Hunter?
There's actually a tiny bit of a story behind that.
Let's hear it, man.
So it started back, like I'd say, I don't remember when I started playing, but I know I started when World was out and before Rise. I think I'd say a few months after Iceborne came out. It was on Game Pass when I was playing on my Xbox. I saw the cover art and I was like, this looks interesting. And I started playing it. I started off as heavy bowgun, and then I slowly regressed down to insect glaive. But then I wouldn't really officially start getting into Monster Hunter, I'd say, until Wilds, because I kind of skipped out on Rise. It was a Switch only at the time. But when World dropped, that's when I officially, I'd say I'd officially started getting into it. But Monster Hunter World was my honestly first introduction. Like the Zoro Magnaros fight, as boring as it can be, just the scale is what impressed me the most, I'd say.
So like kind of scratching a Shadow of the Colossus type of feeling in you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. When would you say like you got like hooked into the series? Was it around that time or
Yeah, my interest started peaking around the time, but I'd say I really got hooked around the time when Wilds came out, because I'd go off and on to World. It was nothing I'd stick to, but just that game I'd play if I just had nothing else to play. But I'd say officially it was when Wilds came out that I'd really start getting into it. Diving into the lore and stuff, getting into all that stuff.
Sick. Okay. Would you say that it was Wilds like story or combat, or what was it about Wilds?
Combat. That's
The combat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What weapon did you use to play through Wilds?
What weapon?
Yeah. When you were going through it.
I was kind of hip-hopping, but I'll tell you what I didn't play.
What?
Greatsword, hammer, lance, and hunting. Those were the only four I did not touch.
Gotcha. Okay, so you were just having a good time all around. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Thanks for answering that. My next question for you, Sev, is going to be, what is one of the best experiences you've had with the Monster Hunter community?
I will say that, I don't know if you really count this, but sometimes when you just pop an SOS, it's just like, just instantaneously, like you already got hunters joining. I guess what you could say is the fast response time.
It's that fun camaraderie of like hunting with random people.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, outside of that, I don't really interact much because mostly I'm a solo player unless I really need help with a monster.
Gotcha. Nothing wrong with that. Has Monster Hunter made an impact on gaming or your life?
I'd say more so gaming than life. From a the variety. There's just a lot more variety than like other games would have, where it's just the same thing but like bigger or retextured. Like if something like in Monster Hunter GU, you have like Dreadqueen, Rathian, like the different variants that are either stronger or just have more potent effects to them. Yeah, that's gonna be the best explanation I can give.
Gotcha. It's kind of like a little bit more interesting than something like a red slime versus a blue slime versus a green slime
Yeah.
kind of deal. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. I get that. So you would say it probably like rose your standards a little bit about your expectations of like not just reused content, but how you can remix your own content in
Yeah.
a game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, shit, Sev, I appreciate your time. Thanks for answering these questions.
No problem. Stay meaty, my friends.
Stay meaty, my friends. Hell yeah. And we have another special guest. We have Impulsive Veins, or you can just call him Lance God Veins. Veins, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good as well.
Hell yeah. I've got some questions for you. If we could just keep it brief, we're going to punch right through them, all right?
Yep.
All right, first off, what got you into Monster Hunter?
What got me into Monster Hunter was seeing a random trailer as a kid of Monster Hunter Tri, and just seeing the unique monster fighting style that I've never played before. And me and my brother got into Tri back when we were kids. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the realistic fighting style it had with just massive monsters. That was new to me, and got addicted to it all the way back then. So
Hell yeah. Was it the one with like the Viking dude in it?
no, it was the one that has the Legiacris and Rathlos beefing, the first ever like time you see them together.
Oh, okay. That's badass. That's cool. That's cool. Alrighty. Next question. What is one of the best experiences you've had with the Monster Hunter community?
It was after Iceborne had already died off. I was still grinding it, and I finished everything in it myself. And so I wanted more people to play with, and I found like new streamers that had like no viewers on Twitch, and they had just started playing. It was two guys that were friends. And so I jumped in, and I was like telling them all these tips, teaching them different things, how to use the weapons that they were using. And then I got to like go into a call with them, was playing with them, brought them all the way through World, like base game, brought them through Iceborne, and then after a while, like they were out there carrying like other players that were new. They were teaching me stuff I didn't know. Like they became like crazy good Monster Hunter players. And it was nice to just bring people from nothing to just master hunters themselves, you know? So that was really fun.
That's sick. That's actually really sick. Cool.
Yeah.
Has Monster Hunter made an impact on gaming for you or your life as a whole?
For gaming, it hasn't really impacted me that much. All it has done is just enforced my like grind mindset. Like I've always loved grinding in games, and I'm a huge collector. Like I love collecting everything in games. And you know, with Monster Hunter, there's so much to collect. And so I just love collecting all the different armor sets, anything that you can get, even like endemic life and stuff. Like I love that stuff. And then like for my life, I just made some really good friends, you know, people I still talk to years later, and people I love to hang out with. So it just helped grow my friend group.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, Veins, it was good to have you on, man. Thanks for answering.
I appreciate it, man.
Take it easy, man. Oh, well, actually, do you have one thing you want to say to the Monster Hunter community at large?
Play Lance more.
Play Lance more. You heard him. You heard him.
Best.
All right. Take it easy, Veins.